and then I have a couple questions to ask my mom, and then I want to get her reaction, and then I want these are serious stuff, and then I want to tell her how I felt, and then I want to see how she felt. So first of all, quick thing is, this is a white cane. What I like about this cane, it's not folding, but it has a rolling marshmallow tip, if you can see. So when I use my cane, I try to have my elbow centered with my belly button as much as I can, and then I do the constant contact, I believe is what it's called, way. So I roll my cane around. I can see with the back glasses I'm wearing, I can see by the way I'm coming up on the couch. Without the glasses, I would not be able to see that. However, so I do want mobility teachers' opinions, questions, I really do. I have the best O&M instructor ever. I don't want to embarrass her, but I'm not gonna lie. She is the one who taught me what a cane was. And I remember in kindergarten, I started off with a crook cane. And so, some people use call it the tap. What do you call it? What do you call this? Hello? O&M instructor?
It's just tapping.
It's literally what it's called. Okay.
I haven't taught O&M in like 15 years.
Okay, so we forgot O&M terms. Sorry, love you. So some people do this, which I don't think is wrong, but for me, I like the constant contact.
So different O&Ms teach their students their own terms.
Yeah, but then different
one is
students.
tapping, one is constant contact.
Yeah, I learned them all, but I think as you learn more, you kind of figure out what works best for you as long as you're traveling safely.
Yeah.
So, do's and don'ts with a cane. It is a cane. It is not a stick. Like, a stick is something you go outside and you get if you want to make s'mores or roast marshmallows. Okay?
Oh, I'm so hungry for some more.
Okay. So don't call this
No chocolate, no graham crackers. Nope.
And you're telling me not to make my video? Okay, sorry, we have a student in here who's learning. No. So don't call the cane a stick, you guys. It's not a stick. It may look like one, but it's really not. It's actually my eyes. And also the other thing is I want to say about the cane is, so yes, I have cerebral palsy and I do use crutches and a walker and a wheelchair. I'm not going to talk about the wheelchair much because it's not a mobility thing that I travel with independently on my own. Yes, I can push my wheelchair on my own, but it's not something I'm able to. I don't drive cars, okay? Blind people can't drive cars.
Hello.
Now, when I am the type of blind person, I am not a can't do blind person. So, when I danced for years as a miracle dancer, when you get in your costumes and you look all pretty and stuff, you do want to decorate your crutches and your walkers and your wheelchairs because that's part of your dance, and that is very acceptable. And also, it's not symbolizing you're blind, so whether you're
Sorry. It's off. Sorry. I'm done.
I'm being a blind teacher right now. She's telling me not to make the video 30 minutes long, and she's over here making noise. So, anyways, put the phone down. I'm gonna have to biologically look over there because she's not. Anyway. Okay. So, and I'm gonna ask you questions. You need to be listening. Sorry, love you. Anyway, so when you have crutches, or a walker, those things are not your eyes, whether you're blind or not. I want to make that clear. My crutches do not help me with my eyes whatsoever. They help my legs and my lower body because of my condition. So don't decorate your cane like my crutches are decorated with E6000 glue, because the white cane symbolizes that you are blind because it's reflective. And if you cover that up with decorations, when you're out in public, what are people going to see first? Oh my gosh, your cane is decorated in gold and silver and pink and whatever, and hey, I'm blind. This is why I use the cane. I don't use the cane to show it off. I use the cane for independence. I use the cane because it's my eyes. I use the cane to keep me safe. Crutches, that is totally okay. Because somebody who has crutches, you obviously know they already have cerebral palsy or some sort of disability where they need to use their crutches. So if they're decorated and someone says, oh, your crutches look very pretty, that is totally fine. Like I said, my crutches are point, and I'm gonna. How do I deal with a blind person as walking around with different equipment? How do I do that? Well, you guys, with these bioptic glasses that Bradley's graciously letting me use, I do have the self-confidence. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't or you can't when you are completely blind. I'm just being honest in my situation. So when I'm using my crutches, I'm constantly looking around outside. I'm constantly being cautious of what's around me. Even with my walker, I'm constantly wondering, because the thing is, I don't have a choice in the matter, okay? So if I go on a short walk, I'm absolutely okay using my cane, and I love it. My cane is partial to me because that is the very first piece of equipment I used when I was 5 years old on my own by myself. That's amazing. Thanks to my amazing mobility instructor. You may be formal, but once a teacher, always a teacher. Okay? So it's very important to me. I got asked a couple years ago when I was still dancing, because even though I danced with my crutches, I always had my cane at the studio. Like if I wanted to walk with my friends to the dollar store, I would take my cane because it was right next door and I was okay. So the instructor thought it was a good idea. She said, "Hey, why don't we decorate your cane just like your crutches, and then we could use it as part of the dance?" And she meant well by that, but I got to educate her that day, which was awesome. And I explained that it would not make me feel comfortable because it's not my legs, it's my eyes, and that would take away from the total purpose of using a cane is decorating it. In my own opinion. Again, this is just my opinion, do's and don'ts. Would love your feedback, but that's it. So, don't call it a stick. Don't cover it up with decorations, because don't hide that you're blind. I'm not gonna hide that I'm blind. Even when I am using my walker or my crutches, I'm not gonna hide that I'm blind. I have to transfer what I know from my cane and do the best I can with my mobility skills when I have those equipment, but I can't stop going. I cannot stop going. And I remember one very quick point. I remember when my orthopedic doctor ordered this equipment, I did look at him and I said, I'm blind. Like, you order this equipment for all kinds of people, but I'm blind. How is this going to help my independence? And he said to me, Ashley, you have got to not overcompromise your body. I'm not saying you're stuck in these equipments, but what I'm saying is you've got to figure out a way, or you are going to be in so much pain. So I decided, you know what? He's right. Little did he know what he was actually saying was, don't use your blindness as an excuse with me. Because that's the kind of doctor he is. He's very kind and gracious, but I thought, you know what? By me saying I can't use crutches because I'm blind, no, don't use your blindness as an excuse. Don't do it. Obviously, there's certain things you're going to need help with, and I'm not one to be like mean about it, like, don't be a blind monster. Don't do that. Don't be one of those blind people who says, well, if I can do it, you can. Don't make other people feel bad about themselves. I don't think that's right. I've been in that situation before. You guys, it's not nice. But be kind about it, but also be strong. So when I had to start using this equipment, I said, all right, I'm going to trust that the mobility skills I have learned, and I'm going to figure out a way to do it. So yes, I still use my cane, and I still use crutches, and I still use a walker, but I do the best I can. So, with that being said, are you ready, student? I have a couple questions. Actually, it's my mom.
Yes. Your question.
So, Mom, how did you feel, and this doesn't have to be a long answer, because then I want to answer the same question. How did you feel when you first realized I was actually blind? Like, what was that feeling like?
Well,
Smile at the camera, by the way, because your only people are going to see this. She's going to smile at y'all.
I felt, when I found out you were blind, I felt
Can they
like,
still see me if I'm sitting here because I'm kind of tired?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you feel when they
I
found out?
felt like I'd been hit by a truck.
Like you've been hit by a truck?
Yeah.
Why did you feel that way? You guys speak up so we can all hear you. This is professional, man.
Because you had a heart problem and that was fixed, but it wasn't fixed yet. You were only 4 months old, so you had one heart surgery, and so we just kind of gotten over that, and then it's like, then bam, you're blind, and like you couldn't see very much, and it was like just. Whenever you get news like that, you're kind of shocked at first, and then you have to figure it out.
You're like, oh, my child's blind too? Like, what else is down the road?
Right. And so, but then later I started like thinking, I think I told you this before many times, I started working on my master's in vision because the little boy who lived next door to me was blind. And I wanted to teach, I started getting books in the library, this was many years ago, on Braille, and started teaching myself about Braille, and then I took a class in Braille and started learning how to teach you. So I really, as you got older, it was really fun watching you learn. Like you would run around the yard and play.
Okay, we're getting there. You're
I liked that.
Okay, so when the first time
yeah,
that's all I want, because we're getting to the questions. I don't want you to answer like 6 questions at once. The first time I actually remember knowing that I was different and the fact that I was blind is I was in 1st grade one day, and my vision teacher wasn't there yet, and I opened up a print book like everyone else because I liked the sound of it. I liked how it felt. At the time, I liked Braille, but I didn't like the feel of it. It was rough. I didn't like to touch it. I was like, ew. I was only 6, 1st grade, but I remember like actually opening the book and actually looking down and actually thinking, I'm not, Like I remember thinking, how come I can't read this? Like it didn't register to me like, I'm looking at it like everybody else. And I literally didn't do it as a joke. At that point, I did it as like, I wanted to know, how come I'm reading different than they, I want to see if I can do it just like them. Because I was always that type of person. I want to do it just like somebody else. That was the first time it hit me, like I realized, I was like, this isn't working for me. So I closed the book and sat there and waited for my Braille. And I think that day I was a little disappointed just because I didn't really understand it, but after that day I think I honestly forgot about it because I was in 1st grade. But I will have to say, it did take me a while. Like even younger, I didn't even, like I knew I was blind, but I didn't really understand the concept of I was actually blind until I got in a setting where everyone was doing something and I was doing the same thing, but I had to do it a little bit differently. And for me, 6 years old was the age where I started to actually really understand, like, I'm not doing it like everyone else. And at the time, it was embarrassing for me, but then as I grew older, it became better. So, another question I have for you is, how did you feel when I got my first cane? Because I got like a crook cane when I was 5. I remember that. I remember my first cane. Like, what was that like for you?
It was cute. It was tiny. And it was, before you started O&M, I was sad because that was what you were going to have to do. You couldn't walk without a cane. But then when you had O&M and I saw all the things you were learning and you moving around, it was pretty exciting. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have to say for me, it was the same. Like, I don't think I was scared of it, from what I can remember. I was only 5 years old, and I remember at first when I touched the cane at school, and I remember asking, can I take this home? And I think my teacher said, no, not yet. And I remember feeling like kind of bummed, like, but why not? No, not yet. I don't remember when I was able to take it home, but I remember when I was so excited because I was like, now this is actually officially mine. Like I can actually take it home and show people. And so I feel like for me that was really cool. And so yeah, we're gonna do another video, but I want to say thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any comments, please let us know because I really want to know your feedback.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I will take my cane and put it in the cane.